It's as prehistoric, as ancient as the landscape all around you.
My earliest memories have been an angler. The most exciting part was float fishing. When the float went under, you didn't know what you were going to catch, and it's tenfold out there. It made me super emotional, and I don't really get that in my fishing. There's a fish thrashing and smashing the boat. I tell you what, it's scary.
The sea can be beautiful, but she can also be a cruel mistress. Oh, bollocks. That ain't good.
When we actually got here, it's everything way beyond anything I imagined actually. Got picked up, went to the shop, did my shopping, and the first thing I did was walk to the water. And yeah, everywhere you look is water, like whether it be the lakes or the streams or the ocean, and yeah, I was totally blown away. Did I have any aims when I came out here? No, I never really do, just to have the best time, the loveliest of times, and try and experience as much as I could. You know, it's a short period of time, you know, to try and cram a lot of stuff in. So no, I don't think I came out here with a bucket list as such. I think just to get the best out of the week. You know, I wanted to see some of the wildlife it had to offer. I'd obviously watched the fish flick film that was done with Angling Times, and to be honest, it was like cramming for an exam before getting here. I was on YouTube every night before bed, just watching something to do with fishing in Norway. So I built up this picture of what could be on offer, but no, I definitely didn't come out here thinking to myself, oh, I really want to catch a massive halibut, or I really want to catch a big cod, or I'd really, really love to see whales, because I think, you know, you set yourself up potentially for a fall. You know, what if I had these big dreams and they didn't come true, and then I was a bit despondent or disappointed by it. So I definitely came here with an open mind. I was with a great bunch of lads. And yeah, I'll just see where the 5 days fishing took us. You know, the camp that we stayed at, Camp Halibut, oh my God, it is incredible. You know, we arrived here, you know, you come round like the hills through the mountains and the sweeping roads, and there's the ford in front of you, and there's all this beautiful accommodation. Can't really liken it to anything, but they paint all the houses different colours, and that might sound really weird, especially in such a beautiful natural environment, but it just looks perfect. And we got to our particular camp and that, met up with the guides. Oh, what a bunch they are, man.
So we arrived on the camp, all very familiar to me, other than there's a few more boats. So it's growing, and that's lovely to see that Camp Halibut, people are realising how good they are. And the intention was to catch some other species, but the main aim had to be the halibut. I hadn't caught one. So that's what I wanted to do more than anything else. And I think all the other lads You know, that's at the pinnacle, that's the trophy fish. All want their photo holding one of these. Well, they're prehistoric. They look as old as the stone all around me. They fit perfectly into this landscape.
You know, growing up, like I did a bit of sea fishing and I despised it. That's a strong word, isn't it? Despising something. But when you've done a lot of coarse fishing and, you know, I really enjoyed fly fishing as well, then you kind of, I wouldn't say dragged screaming and kicking, but yeah, I'd go sea fishing with my dad and I really disliked it. You know, I'd get put on a boat, tanked out, and it seemed to take for hours to always get to these marks, get out there, loads of old geezers, and everyone was just sort of like lobbing big bits of lead over the edge, big stiff rods, terrible bite indication. You rarely got a bite, you just sort of wanted to reel in. Oh yeah, got one. It just never gave me a good flavour for what the ocean had to offer. Fast forward now, I end up working at Nash Tackle, dream job, but all too quickly I didn't just want to be a carp angler. I never was a carp angler. I didn't want to just be a carp angler. And you start to meet new friends and new people with the travelling. Yeah, my love for it really became strong, like really strong. It's not because like I felt like I completed coarse fishing or caught all the carp I wanted to catch. It was just like, I don't know, it offered a different kind of adventure, different scenery to what carp fishing or coarse fishing offered. And do you know what I think it is more than anything? I think my earliest memories of being an angler, the most exciting part was float fishing. When the float went under, you didn't know what you were going to catch, and it's tenfold out there. It's tenfold. Like half the species I don't even know exist. Even now, I don't know their names. So I get a bite and I reel something up, and I'm like, what is it? What is it? And it transports me back to being a child again. It's like, it's hard to put it into words, but it's like every time I get a bite out of there, I don't know what I'm going to catch. Well, boys are just coming down now. We're heading out. I've really enjoyed catching these. They've been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, the incredible scorpion fish. I think there is 2 different species. I'm not sure which one this is. But yeah, they love little jig head, just bouncing around on the bottom nice and slowly. And yeah, super aggressive and super cool. They're like a bullhead, but way cooler. Massive flatheads on them. Yeah, really incredible colours. An absolute pleasure to catch. You know, I think to myself sometimes, wow, you've been on a big job, fishing 7 days, 10 days or whatever, oh, it's exhausting. But these lads here, man, they've got a different set of minerals inside, you know, to be able to go out here day in, day out. And I was super excited to meet them and hear some of their stories. We were paired up with Alex. Alex is, you know, I've been guided before. You can't come out here and not have a guide. It'd be crazy to think that we could just go take a boat out and do some fishing. So, and I'd heard a lot about Alex. I'd spoke to Daniel before, but I never spoke to Alex. So yeah, Alex was our guide for the week. Incredible boat. Everything's just perfect. Like I say, the accommodation perfect, the boats, the rods, it's all laid on. You can create the kind of package you want.
We went out on the first, got a little bit of sleep, and then went out. It quite surprised me how we were going to fish for them. Very, very delicate. I was fishing with lures most of the time. We did also put dead baits out, but most of my focus was on a lure, and I was fishing 2 Alex's advice. He suggested that we fish with a curly tail, not a paddle tail, and on the lure. And the reason for that is these halibut, although they're immense, they don't like much movement. That's why in rough seas it's difficult to catch them, because your lure's going up and down too much. If you see someone lifting their rod up and down, the real biggest halibut won't normally take the lure.
All the fishing I've ever done, I'm pretty good at going into it with a plan. Like I say, I've done a lot of research about Norway, but this particular trip, I knew we were making a fishing film, and I knew I was going fishing, and I knew there was some different species, and I knew the main target was to try and catch a halibut. You know, that's really why we're at Camp Halibut. It does exactly what it says in the tin. So that was the sort of main plan. But other than that, you know, I hadn't really spoke to Martin beforehand and pecked his head and said, what are we doing then, Martin? What's the plan for the first day? So I just wanted to go and enjoy it and go with the flow. And I think that's important as well when you're with a group of friends and other anglers. And this was quite a big party. You know, it'd be very selfish of me to, you know, I want to do this, this, this and this, and I don't care what anyone else does. So the plan kind of just evolves naturally. And the big thing out here is, with the best intentions in the world, you know, you can sit and write all this plan down, but you're dictated by the weather. The weather controls the plan. It controls what species you're fishing for. So we were really sort of hand to mouth with the plan. We'd look at the weather constantly. You know, the boys, Alex is constantly on these different weather charts and weather apps. And even that changes quite quickly. So you have to be fluid with your plan.
Mate, that's big.
Yeah, it's massive. No, it's actually massive, bro. I thought it was the bottom. Alex just said to me, get the bait back out. We've got to really try and keep it in that sort of kill zone, that 2 to 5 metres up off the bottom. And I dropped it down. Had one drop with the lure. I was like, because we've been fishing such up and down terrain. So I redid it, got it back into that sort of 5 metre zone. Picked the lure rod up again, looked round and the tip was just right over. And I thought, oh, I'm dragging bottom. Nah.
It's not rushed, but...
Yeah, man. Rarely in my fishing am I completely speechless. You know, even in the battle, you know, Lawrence said to me, you're not even talking, mate, you're saying nothing. And that is because Alex basically turned around and said, it's a big fish. And then probably halfway through the battle, bearing in mind he's got access to the echo sounder and he can see what's going on there, he turned around 2/3 of the way through the battle and said, no, it's a really big fish. When a guide like that, that's so experienced, that's caught ginormous fish himself, says that, yeah, I was shitting myself. Absolutely petrified of what was going to come up.
Never known you so quiet, mate.
I'm sorry. Welcome to Norway.
See.
And the clarity of the water out here is you could drink it. It's so clear, and to see it coming up, you know, but the weight of it as well.
I have to stand here.
It blew me away.
Ooh. Oh my.
Alex has got to set a hook in it, and then he can tail it, and so we can have a good look at it. And I don't know what happened, but basically the line, the leader got wrapped around his neck, and because it hasn't fought all the way up, it had so much life in it. Can you imagine a creature that size, hundreds of pounds, and he's got it around his neck?
Oh, to that. Alex, what are you doing? Are you all right, bro?
Once the absolute carnage was over, that's when you can take it all in and you can truly appreciate it. And so much in fishing, I'm so guilty of it. I don't get to appreciate, you know, these creatures. You know, you frantically want to get another one, but yeah, I really had the opportunity on this once it had, you know, all calmed down to just appreciate it for what it is. Of course, it was never coming in the boat. Far too big to get in the boat. And yeah, we got a few pictures, got a bit of film. I touched it a lot. I stared into its eyes a lot, and close. Just the closest I could get without falling in myself to just look at it.
I've got a giant!
Where are you?
2 metre flatty.
Yes, mate, what? And bars, we're coming over right now.
Well, Alex, thank you. Martin, thank you. Nice big ass. Fucking 202. Like, boys have just come over to say hello. They're screaming fish of a lifetime. For sure. And it's our first day, man. What have you been fishing for? 4 hours? 3 hours? Mate, what a place. Like, truly magical. Yeah, I am speechless. I played it with saying very little. It was just somewhat of a shock. Look at it.
And then I released it, and that was just magical. You know, even though I was on a tiny little boat with Martin, with Lawrence, with Alex, I felt like it was just me and the fish. I had it by the tail, and the wrist of its tail was like this, and I had it, and I let it go, and it just did one final kick, and gone. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that moment.
Fucking special, man. Well done, team.
Bloody hell. That was amazing. That had made the whole film. That made the whole trip, just to see that creature. But of course, you wouldn't be an angler if you didn't look at it with not the wrong words, jealousy. I was chuffed for Alan, but you sort of think, I really want a good halibut now. Suddenly, my benchmark of saying for £50 had gone out the window. I wanted a big one as well. But I also knew it's not a definite. You know, it's hard fishing. We were putting in massive shifts, going to sea. I've completely lost track of what time it is. As I'm chatting here, I actually am wobbling. I've been to sea so much.
You know, we're anglers, we come out here to go fishing, but I'm coming back with Chloe and the girls, man. The wildlife, I might not ever experience what I've experienced in this week ever again. You know, I went for a walk one morning to sit at the top of a waterfall, just to do a little bit of Instagram. Like, there's these like partridge, grouse things. That's on land. Get out there, man. I had my head taken clean off.
There was one day out there, and everywhere we looked, we stopped the boat, we weren't fishing, everywhere we looked, there were spouts going up in the horizon. And loads of fish had moved in, and they had come to feed on them. And they'd moved in vast numbers. I don't know how many whales were there, but I think close to us was 3 or 4. And again, it was film it, admire it, couldn't pay for it. And as anglers, we're very lucky because we get to enjoy not only the fish, but all of the wildlife, all of those special moments.
It made me super emotional. Like, and I don't really get that in my fishing. You can't, as a bloke, you kind of brush it off and you don't, but I fucking very, very nearly was crying. Like, because it's just one of the most special moments of my life, man. I've never even been anywhere where it doesn't get dark. No, and that worried me a little bit, knowing that, because then you don't go to sleep, and that's also quite dangerous. But you know, at the back end of the trip now, we've literally hardly slept. Day in, day out, day in, day out. We've been going out all night, you know, and the sun just doesn't drop, it drops. It sort of doesn't set. It doesn't rise, it's always there. Like wherever you are out in the sea, you're looking and that sun's still there. So the plan was crazy. I've done some crazy fishing, for sure. You know, these big Eurobanks road trips, adventures. But on reflection, this has got to be the craziest. It has to be the craziest. Like I say, it never gets dark. We're out there fishing all the time. And to make matters worse, and I'm my own worst enemy, I'm not looking for sympathy here, I'd get back in, and because it wasn't bloody dark, I'd just go back out again. I've been up in the mountains looking for Arctic char or off the jetty place fishing, or the boys would say, do you want to go out and do a bit of... It just, tell you what, it's a dangerous country for an angler. You could very quickly break yourself because you just want to be out there constantly fishing.
Halibut! Goldfish!
Goldfish? Get out of here, can't be. Oh, one of them little goldfish?
They go like 20 pounds, Martin.
Oh, there you go, 40 pounds.
Oh, I'm going back now. Look at that fucking rod.
Big coley.
Probably not. Oh, I love it. He took off. Oh my God, mate. Did you say Simpno's bigger, Martin? I can confirm he's 1 centimetre bigger.
Oh man, they've given me 15 minutes. You can have 15 minutes for the coldfish halibut, that's it. Then we're getting back to the halibut fishing. These fish are obscene. I think these are probably my favourite after the halibut. They're just muscle, absolute muscle. Catch them fishing really, really fast. And to be honest with you, this is actually still a baby. How big, Alex? 40 pounds. 40 pounds. Imagine catching one of these on light gear and 40 pounds in weight. Yeah, they are sick. One more, Martin? He said yes. I had to behave. You know, I knew I was here to make a film about halibut fishing, but Jesus, it is hard. It's really hard to stick to the plan, stick to the agenda, because this ocean is just so full of fish. Never in my life, you know, with the exception of, you know, I don't know, sitting on the ooze catching bleak after bleak after bleak after bleak, or going to a commercial fishery and catching loads of carp off the surface all day long. Never, ever, certainly not in sea fishing, not even, you know, you got here and then Norway up here. You go out there, didn't really matter what you used, whether you fish with bait, whether you were jigging, whether you were using a shad, whatever it is, it's just bite after bite after bite after bite after bite. And I caught everything from tiny little scorpion fish down at, what am I talking about, tiny? They're the biggest scorpion fish I've ever seen, like massive ones are bigger than your hand, like. What else did I catch? Cod. You know, it's again renowned for the cod. Massive cod, the coalfish. I became a bit obsessed with them. I'd constantly go, Alex, are they on the Echo? Are they on the Echo? And, you know, fishing for them, wolffish. The wolffish. You know, I'd seen these in magazines. And never did I think I'd ever catch one of those. I thought it was just a mythical creature that, you know, got caught one. There's loads of them, you know. It's just been the best trip, man. Fishing, like so many fish to catch, so many different fish to catch, so many different tactics you can employ to catch them. And yeah, you know, I ate them. I'd come home every evening with fresh fish. I'd fillet those fish. I'd make a beautiful dinner for myself. And again, that's really special. You know, I'm used to stopping off in Burger King. Like, not out here. I made the most of every second, and you know, I'm truly grateful for the opportunity.
I forget when we went out. We've been out for such long enduro sessions. I think it was the next one that we went out, and we struggled. Other boats were catching and we weren't catching, and I think we'd spent, I mean, just a long time at sea just doing this little gentle wobbling of the lure. I don't know what we've been out there, 10 hours or something. And anyway, Alex is constantly working the reef, trying to find where the fish are. So are all the other guides here. And he doesn't stop. Literally, he is trying to get your lure to fish perfectly all the time. You know, some guides that I've had in the past, when you're trolling or you're vertical jigging, they just don't control the boat. Wherever the tide's taking, it'll go. And you can see your lines are going out in the distance. And you have to keep letting more line out, and you get a couple of seconds on the bottom and then it lifts. And the only answer is keep putting line out. And to be honest, you're not fishing properly. Alex is on the motor all the time, backing up, getting it right, trying to keep the lines vertically down so you can keep control, and that's really important. The minute it's the bottom, you stay in control and know where you are in the water column. Anyway, doing that, I'd got this twin tail, looked a bit like a frog on, and it became my favourite lure until a wolffish bit the tails off. But anyway, so I've got that down there, and I reckon I'd done about 5 or 6 turns, and you get feels like, if you were at home, you'd think it was a wrasse biting at you. Then you wind a little bit more, and all the time, unbeknown to me, is another big fish. This halibut's following it. You activate it, coming up, and I think I did 3 or 4 goes of feeling it nip, and then goes over. Yep, that's got to be a halibut.
Yeah, it looks like a decent fish, that.
Yours go down to the bottom, Martin?
One's under the bottom.
Yeah, that's the first one.
I got to be careful.
See him on the sun now.
Boom! Bam!
different gravy. Jesus. Watch out, he's coming up the front of the boat. Jesus. Fucking hell. Big.
Nice.
How's that feel, mate? You earned that one.
Epic. Epic. This is one big critter on the end here. Come on. Come on, mate.
It's been a grueler. Like, I don't know what we're on now. 2 o'clock, 12, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 8 hours? Something like that? Just drifting, drop down, drifting, drop down. Loads of big cod.
That's just hanging there now.
Oh, mate.
Oh, I thought it's gone there. Huh?
Where is it?
It's where it feels straight down, fairly close to the boat. Managed to get it off the bottom, that's crucial. What didn't help is when I got the hit, Alex said immediately, big fish. You could see it on the echo. So this was my moment, and you can feel the pressure. It's so exciting. And I got it off the bottom, and that is when you've sort of not beaten it, but you're a bit safer. Started bringing it up, just a big weight. Taking a bit of line occasionally, but I'm winning. I'm winning, like Alan was with his one. I'm winning, and we were just about to see colour. I think only 10 metres down, it was. You could see on the echo, and then oh my God, it just went woo, woo. Do not dive. Oh bollocks! That ain't fucking good. Oh. Watch out, it's coming up to underneath the boat. Oh. Not fucking good. I've got all these coats on. I've got a GoPro around my neck, and you want all of the warm stuff on you when you're drifting, but all of a sudden I can feel myself overheating. Can someone take this GoPro off my neck? And I've got to take this coat off. I agree.
How does it work?
Bomb to the bottom. I've got it within 5 metres of the surface. And now it's heading to Russia.
How far down?
40 meters.
And I think it was like 45 minutes playing this thing. And when you drew it up, it just crashed back down to the bottom. And eventually though, with moving the boat, keeping out of trouble, managed to get it up, and then we saw it. And it was another great fish. No. Oh. Oh my fuck. I keep swearing on this film, it ain't very good.
Watch your foot there, Martin.
Lead us in.
One step back.
Yeah, I can't move back. No. Not in. It's not in. It's not in. You got it. Nice guy. Oh man.
Hey!
Don't know what to say. That's massive. Don't want to swear.
Oh, I thought it was.
Just massive.
I thought it was.
Well done. No, well done you.
It's a big fish, man.
And it was another great fish. The benchmark here, I think, is 1.5 meters for getting a fish over 100 pounds. This was 1.8, and it doesn't really matter what the weight was, but Alex said, I think he said it was around 170 pounds. Not as big as Alan's, but still an amazing fish. I didn't care. We'd come here together. We both caught what we wanted. We both had a big fish, and that's the perfect trip. And really, we weren't even halfway through. And I've described Alan's fish as prehistoric, and this one was, but not as. You know, his thing looked ancient. This one was a bit cleaner. You couldn't get it on the boat though. Just impossible. I think if 4 men tried to lift it, we'd have struggled. I don't know what to say really. Partly, thank God that flight's over. I'll remember that forever. Special. And this fish, just like Alan's, it's a dinosaur. It's a monster, it's a dinosaur. It's just beautiful. I don't know what to say. Blown away. Oh, thank you. Again, big fish. Oh, thank you, Lord. You are the man. And it's time for you to come back. Cheers, Alex. To have a moment with that was worth all the effort, and like I say, I came before COVID to catch one, so it was sort of like the end of that journey. But of course we had more time, and we caught more halibut. Never as big again, but great fun. Alan, he's like a madman. I can only normally focus on one thing at a time. Alan's got a rod it, coalfish. And the funniest thing was, he caught this mini redfish. I mean, tiny. And he brought it up, new species. The passion he has for angling, and it is genuine, it's not an act. I've never known anything like it. You know, he's like a kid at Christmas.
Today, nothing's working. My right hand ain't working, my left hand, my legs just ain't working. I don't want to stand up. I want to sit cross-legged on the floor. Yeah, I'm just like, even this hand ain't working properly. I felt everything yesterday, like the rod was part of me. Do it.
Look at that, mate. Want to sling, Alex? Sling her up. Oh, what a beautiful day, what a beautiful... All right, John? No. She ain't fucking light. That's such a carp fishing thing to do, man.
Right tide, right place.
Right guide.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Right lure.
Right lure, right place.
And a big amount of motivation. Yeah, it's just been the most amazing trip, mate. Thank you.
No, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Camp Halibut. I've not visited Norway before. Everything about it has blown me away. The wildlife, the scenes, of course the fishing, and the people we've come with.
Yeah.
It's been great, innit, man? Good bunch of lads. Yeah, hell of a trip. Yeah.